Oh, dude!
Unique,
you saw my first impression in real time when you got it, and actually, I wouldn't be that keen to have anyone just bring in their bike, but there is something so interesting about this. It's so exciting.
Agreed.
And also it's super current, like the fact that we've got so many people, and we'll talk about it more, but so many people adopting belt drive and the pinion gearbox.
Yeah, it does have the gearbox for those who are just listening away. Yeah, there's a Gates belt drive. It looks like a single speed because the gearbox is all sort of doing its thing before it comes out into the belt drive. Yeah, and it looks totally crazy. Today, actually, this morning, or all day, I've been riding it and testing it, and it's mind-blowingly cool. It's genuinely a different level of bike. Like, I've not always been the most technically minded, maybe that's just because of the bikes that I have ridden until now, but maybe I'm getting a bit older and this stuff is pretty exciting. And to feel it, because they told me all about it. I went out to the factory in Switzerland last week to pick it up, and they told me all the theories behind it, and then to ride it today and find it out is pretty spectacular, actually. I couldn't.
So you're fresh off a first ride.
Literally, I still smell. I've still got my biking kit on. Luckily, you can't smell it through the camera. I have a chewing gum and I put some deodorant on, but drop in the ocean, I think, it comes to mind.
I think I've obviously you love motorsports and you're super into F1 and like technology and engineering and all of those things, and yet also a dirt jumper. It's quite like a
true
juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition, it is, yeah. I quite like slamming into the ground, but I also like this now.
Yeah.
I think genuinely, for gravity riding, has to be the future, and I've only ridden it for 4 hours now.
Wow. Right, it's super interesting. I think the change that you've come here super hyped on. I'd love to know what you think it is about this bike that you're.
Yeah, well, it's so fresh because it was literally 4 hours ago that I experienced it. It's like just the silence of the belt. And even if you have a really nice set-up bike with a chain, it doesn't clatter around, but there's still a bit of noise. And when you pedal, there's just that chainy feeling. It like clicks through all the little wheels and the cogs, where there's none of that. It literally feels like you're pedaling a cloud around. And and then it's quite weird that it's absolutely silent. All you can hear is the tires and sort of the suspension going. Wow. And it's really crazy. And even on the GoPros, you can feel it, like you can see it. We watched some back a minute ago, and it's like it's genuinely totally different.
Do you think the high pivot will be? Well, I'm actually trying to work out what this suspension system is. Do you know what it is?
No, that's beyond me. That's for Reese's, and I think the downhill team are even developing this further.
Right.
Okay. Because there's some top guys. I think they've announced the whole team now, but yeah, there's definitely some top. It's a top team and they know what they're talking about. I don't really know when it comes to suspension design what's better, but the guys, I went out last week, the guys are so funny. The guy's running hundreds of simulations on his computer about the flexing, the wheel travel, like just trying to optimize absolutely every nut and bolt for like each new iteration, whilst listening to Slipknot as loud as it'll go, which I thought that sums up the bike perfectly, actually. Slipknot and some Swiss engineering. So like what I could feel straight away was the noise, and so a lot of the apparent advantages of what they told me is that all the unsprung weight off the back wheel of a cassette, a chain, has all now been moved to under your pedals, which is sprung weight. So the wheel can be so much more active. So you can actually kind of either have harder suspension, so basically my example was that suspension, obviously I use it super hard to ride the ramp, so I was riding the big ramp in the garden, but I could feel it was so much more supple than any of my other bikes on the way into the ramp, like instantly. Okay. And I guess apparently that's to do with the unsprung weight. So they've run some tests over at GAMUX, and they told me I'm not allowed to tell you the improvement, but it's double-digit percentage, he said, in wheel travel if you have the same setup. They had one bike set up with a chain and derailleur, and they noticeably could see how much better the suspension worked.
Wow. Okay.
So I think that's the main advantage. Yeah. Also, you don't have to change the oil in it for 10,000 miles.
That is
which
nice.
appeals to someone like me.
Yeah.
You don't have to lube it.
No. I mean, there's actually.
I like having a prop. It's cool.
It is
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
isn't
just
I had
sort
to
of
bring it in
looking
because
at
there's too
yeah.
much to talk about,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I'd forget something if I didn't bring it in
Yeah,
and show you guys.
It's cool.
I can't compare it to anything because I can't compare it to another bike that has a pinion gearbox, and I can't tell you if it's high pivot or if it's, obviously this is probably going to be really annoying to an engineer listening or someone who's like a suspension nut, because I just simply am not. And
They can
I
just
don't
put it in the
know,
comments
but-
below, really, can't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
no doubt, but it is fascinating. So the gearbox that runs,
It's electric little fingers here.
yeah,
Yep.
no
There we go.
way,
You
dude.
don't have to pedal, you can just shift, which is super cool. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of works like a kind of car gearbox, like a DSG one, where it's got two shafts of gears and it just selects which one's driving and which one's not. I think.
Got you.
I
Got
mean,
you.
I could be very wrong. People can also tell me in the comments.
And that means that you're changing without having to pedal. So
Yeah, that is something that I know they're coming out with the e-bike one as well quite soon,
Oh,
which is
wow.
going to be really sick to just be able to bang through your whole set of gears without pedaling.
Yeah.
You're never going to get stuck in a gear, are you?
So, for instance, you could come off a big jump into like a turn that you lose a load of speed on, and you could literally, like a moto.
You could shift a couple in the air, couldn't you? And get
Quite a
ready.
trick. Tear off, quick shift, land.
A quick zip, zip,
What?
zip.
Is it true it can be run as automatic as well?
Yes, that is actually true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
haven't set that up, but it
No.
goes to do with the, I
God,
think the
imagine that.
RPM of your pedals. You can set it up to shift whenever you get to a certain.
I mean, we
RPM.
kind of feel like we're looking at the future a little bit.
Yeah, I was not skeptical
You
when they
think, or
first
no?
told me about it, but now I've got it. It's like, to me, so clear actually.
Yeah.
So it does come. It's cool having this on because it comes at a time which is super interesting. Like a few other bike companies have adopted it, right?
Yes.
So we got the Athertons.
Athertons.
Yeah.
Are
I think there's
racing
4 now racing World Cups.
Is
in
that
it.
so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intense.
Intense as well.
Yeah, I did
Mhm.
make a note of them. I'm sorry.
Ah, there you go.
There's one more, isn't there?
Yeah, Atherton, Intense,
Zero, isn't it?
Yeah, Zero
MS.
have for a while, haven't they?
MS
Zero.
Racing.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, MS. But what are MS now?
Intense, aren't they? Or not?
No.
Oh, no.
No. I'm not sure.
Just
We
sort of
do
reveal
not
yourself.
know
That you don't,
about
yeah, yeah. Well, it's quite difficult at the moment, isn't it? It's like that exciting period of the year. Like this is all part of new 25. You
Yeah,
doing
it
an
is,
announcement.
yeah.
It's mega exciting,
It's
isn't it?
January.
It's
This all
A1.
should have
It's like-
happened months ago, I think, but they
That's
never
it.
sorted the rules out, did they? So there's been a lot of panic behind the scenes, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot to do with why a lot of people are losing their rides and teams are going down because no one knew, did they?
No.
No,
The rules
but-
until now.
Well, it's super hard to pitch a lot of money to when you don't know what's actually happening, or if you don't know if you've got a spot. It's not even their fault. It's just
Yeah, you
the
don't
fact
know if
that
you're
they
even
don't
in. Yeah,
know
so it's been
who's
really
racing,
hard for
so-
everyone.
Okay,
Okay.
hey man, what an episode that was! You did amazing in it.
And so did you.
You shone like a star.
You shone like a moon.
Can we also put something up here that you can click on for the next episode?
How about we put a subscribe up there in the middle?
Yeah, I love
We're going to
that
put a
idea.
video we think that our lovely companionship will love
Yeah.
on your face.
On my face.
Yeah.
So
And
they
on
can't
my
see me now.
gone. And on my face, another video that we think people will love. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. You guys are the best.
Peace and love.